Shalom Anchors. I got little Rachel with me today. She wants to be in the video. Actually, she just wants to sit on Daddy's lap. So in that case, we're going to go ahead and do this video with her. So what we've decided is, it's that time of the year where we need to start getting some chickens laying. So, let's get it this way. Chickens are laying. They're laying real well. But we need to actually start getting some baby chicks out. So, for those of you that don't know, chickens are a 21-day process. And the interesting thing is also our turkeys have just started laying. So with our turkeys just starting to lay, we decided that we'd go ahead and turn on the incubator. So what we have here is we've got a Georgia Quail Federation. It's the Sportsman 1202E Sportsman. So it's not the one that has all the electronics and those types of things. It just has a normal thermostat. Tells us when the set point's achieved, and it also has a simple dial to turn it up and down. The reason why we bought this incubator is we've went through the foam shell, we went through a plastic one, we made cases for them. Anyway, at the end of the day, the thing I'm going to tell you is all those other ones are great if you don't need to depend on them. So if you're dependent on a 20% hatch rate, you're dependent on a 5% hatch rate, go ahead and buy those. And some of you are going to say you've had great luck with those. That's fine. I can tell you that I spent a lot of time with those in the past. And because we're depending on this for actual meat for our family, because we don't have the chickens. Well, we do have the chickens, but we don't have the chickens right now that will sit on the quantity of eggs that we need to hatch out the number of chickens that we'll eat in a year. We decided that we were going to go ahead and buy a good incubator. So this is a really good incubator. Like I said, it's the 1202E Sportsman by Georgia Quail Federation. What we've got here in front of us, I'll go over a little bit. Excuse me, girls. This right here is for our turkey eggs. This little tray holds 36 eggs. And the blue one here is actually for the chickens. It holds 48. So for chicken eggs, this will hold right at about 300 eggs, and I forget for quail eggs, if you're doing quail or pheasants or anything like that, it'll hold, it's almost like 600 or 700, something like that. Nice features of it, it's got a nice little bucket here. It holds water inside there. Then we've got it helps with pressure, just a simple float valve in here. This float valve is really close to the one that we actually use that you probably saw on our chicken water video. We'll put a link in the description for that. And like I said, we're going to turn this thing on. All the other ones tell you to stabilize for 24 hours, and I believe this one does too. But we're going to watch it today, and I guarantee in less than 2 hours this thing's going to be up to temperature, stable, and running great. One little thing we've got here in the bottom. So while it does hatch out basically 300 chicken eggs, the bottom here, as far as when you're actually hatching out the eggs, you can only fit about 95 eggs down in the bottom down here. So at about day 18, we typically take the eggs and we take them and we drop them down. And all we do is just put it on a simple calendar. So we'll be back with you in a couple minutes. Okay, so here we go. We're going to turn it on. And I think right here's the button. It's kind of hard to do this when you're looking through the camera. So we just turned it on. That's the power button. There's an automatic and a manual. So we're going to put it into, right now I'm going to keep it in manual. We don't want to lock it in auto because I don't want the trays turning. So I'm going to keep it in manual for right now, but that's the automatic tray turner. And then we'll look at our temperature. We are sitting at about 72, 73 degrees. And we'll come back here in about an hour. We'll see where we're at. And then at 2 hours, we'll see where we're at too. So stay with us. Thanks. Okay, so it's been just over about an hour and a half, and you can look and see we're holding right at 100 degrees. So we'll probably let it sit there for another hour, hour and a half, and then we're going to go ahead and put the eggs in. I think I mentioned it earlier, the reason why an incubator is so important, at least for our homestead, is I don't want to pay the extra money to have a bunch of extra hens that are small. I mean, there are hens out there that are larger, but if you got to look at it this way. Since electricity is available, you can either take the choice of buying an incubator and hatching out as many eggs as you want really quick, or you can count on the father, which is I think great as far as to go ahead and have enough hens to do that. But in our particular situation, what we chose to do to pay for the incubator was last year we hatched out probably 1,000 plus chickens. Hatched out those 1,000 chickens, sold them all for $3 a piece, and we paid for our incubator. From that, we kept probably 300 of the chickens, changed out our whole flock that we needed for layers, so we've got good layers now for typically 2 years after you do that. And then we also probably harvested close to 200 meat birds. So if you're just looking at 10, 20, 30, hens, that's fine. I mean, I definitely applaud you for going through and using the chickens. But in this particular case, when you're hatching out large quantities, I really think you need to think about what is a good incubator to go after. And that's the only reason why we've got this the Sportsman model, because we tried multiple other ones trying to look for a more cost-effective route, and we just couldn't find it. So it's one of those pieces where you can either pay the money up front, or you can not get fully sustainable in the end. And for our family right now, we don't buy, no eggs, very limited dairy since the milk cow came in. And then we don't buy any meat at all in our homestead. And then you've probably seen from some of our other videos, fruit production's a big high thing, and we're already doing a lot with vegetables. So as you continue to work through where your bottlenecks are, where your problem areas are, I would encourage you to think closely about doing something that would require intervention to get you there faster. And then as time allows, then you can go maybe another route. For our homestead, we chose the incubator, like I said, because one, we thought we could pay for it by hatching out chickens, and two, we knew each year that we're going to be hatching out a large number of chicks, so then that way we can have those for food. Okay, so we've got the eggs. It's been probably 2 hours since we've turned it on. It's sitting right at 100 degrees. What we have here is we've got 5 of our turkey eggs. They've already started laying. And then we have 26 eggs that a friend blessed us with. So now what we're doing is we're going to go ahead and put them in here. I'm just going to put them in on the lower rack. Well, I'll put them in on the middle rack. It doesn't really matter. Just slide them right in. You can look up here and see that the water is inside there. So now that's going to help keep our the climate that we need, not only for temperature but for humidity. Lock this little guy back down. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in automatic mode. So what that's going to do is every 2 hours it will go ahead and change the position of the rack. And this final thing is at about day 18 we'll take this and drop that into where you saw the water, and this will actually increase the humidity to the higher level, which then will allow the chickens to hatch. And the turkeys, but the turkeys again, they'll hatch at around 28 days, and the chickens will hatch right around 21 days. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe, share with others. Shalom.